Hi, guys, welcome to the first episode of the Spill the Tea podcast. Today, I'm here with our guest Tom, who will be on here most of our podcasts, talking about the latest news in film, TV, anime, and games in general. Just last week, your friendly neighborhood Spider Man finished wrapping up season one. So, Tom, what are your thoughts?
I was really happy with the ending. I was glad they brought back a lot of the elements from like the Marvel animation series. Having the Watcher, Doctor Strange, and like a bit of like the sorcery happening in like episode 10, I was like happy to see that. And it was a good thing to kind of go on to as you could tell like that was like in my opinion the teaser for like season two and just knowing the like there'll be a really good idea of like a lot more callbacks because this entire series referenced a lot of things that was happening, like when the Sokovia Accords happened, when Civil War happened,
Oh, yeah,
Doctor
definitely.
Strange. So I was really happy about the way the series went along with that. Like it didn't make it a whole plot idea, but they added different elements of it. So it kind of like tied in a lot of like the MCU's details if they happen in a different timeline.
Yeah, that's basically what this show is. Like, if there was certain different things that happened in the MCU and it was changed, what a different Spider-Man would be. And the teaser that they just did for season two, like especially with Tombstone, just slowly his skin turning into gray. That's just the perfect tease for season two. And he's not like the villain or like a bad guy. It's that perfect balance where he doesn't really know if he's the bad guy or not, and he has to like put himself in the gang leader's shoes because there's a void, and that's the only family he kind of feels like he's belonging as well.
So kind of
And
like an anti-hero in a
yeah,
sense.
basic,
Hmm.
and not just that. That's very good, but Scorpion in episode 8. Oh my god. He did not hold back. I think, no, not episode 8, sorry. Episode 7. And then episode 8 is the aftermath. But yeah,
Yeah.
Scorpion did not hold back. Like, for just a PG Spider Man show rated 12, you'd think, like, yeah, no, it's just normal animated kids cartoon show. But oh my god, like even the voice acting went so hard. You feel like the emotion is like he really means to like hurt Spider-Man, and Spider-Man really means to hurt Scorpion. That's something you won't really see in like a kids animated show.
Yeah,
And
I feel
like
like
it
it
was
was a
just
really good callback. Like, you know
yeah,
what it is? When Spider-Man and Scorpion had that fight, it reminded me of like, you know the fight that happened between Spider-Man and Green Goblin in No Way Home?
yeah, definitely. Literally remind me
It
of
was
that
a
as well.
good
Yeah,
callback to that. Like I said, it was having some really good like callbacks to like
reference.
different
Yeah,
elements of the
yeah.
MCU.
And like how violent it got. Like from the beginning, everyone was like, "Oh yeah, this must be some cringe Disney Spider-Man show. No one's gonna watch it, right?" But once you get to the end, oh my god, the payoff is just so good, so perfect. It's just they knew what they were doing, and especially from Deadpool and Wolverine, how the MCU is starting to become better in quality rather than having so many shows and films out that have bad quality. This is an example of that. It's
Yeah.
starting to get better in quality and the storytelling, very good. The emotion, very good. Even the humor, they knew when to joke around and when to be serious.
Mm.
Oh yeah, and the plot twist that his father is alive, bro. Oh my god, that is such a different thing we've never seen in a lot of Spider-Man cartoons, and like in Spider-Man fiction, that's very rare to see, right? For a plot twist
Yeah.
in the
I
scene.
think the only time we were so close to having that in like, the Amazing Spider-Man thing.
Yeah, the are you talking about the film?
Yeah, I'm talking about the film.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
there was a
yeah.
deleted scene where you see Peter Parker's like father is alive, but I don't think they added that in the final cut, did they?
No, that's just a deleted scene. Here, it feels like it's not meant to be there, but they include it because of the different changes. So, it,
Yeah.
it does make sense.
That this timeline of like Spider-Man was definitely a lot more different compared to like a lot of the other Spider-Man timelines. But I think that's a good thing because like one example with that catchphrase, with great power comes great responsibility. The change to like with great power comes great respect. Like
Oh my
that's when you
God.
know there was a change in tone because it's like it was
Yeah,
truly just like a capitalist approach. It was more like you were dealing with three different characters that were just there for the greed of like power.
exactly, exactly. And he kind of Norman Osborn in this universe, he kind of uses that to his advantage because of how naive Peter Parker is to think that he's a very good mentor. He's the only person who understands this weight of responsibility, but he just uses that and he uses his own inventions to create this portal. And then, he thinks that, it's fine, we're gonna explore space. But with all of this power getting corrupted into your head, you think that, there's no harm in like going that far, right? But then even Doctor Strange comes in and warns him that, different creatures can just randomly pop up, but he doesn't even care if the people get hurt. And that's what kind of defines what Norman Osborn is. He wants best for the people, yes, but he goes to the bad means of doing so.
I feel
Or
like was
especially that Venom tease as well at the end where the symbiote gets cut off and he thinks, everything is all lost, all hope is lost, and then he sees that little slither of Venom probably, and yeah, that's probably gonna continue in season 2. We'll
I think
find
one of the
out.
things I'm most curious about is like, I keep forgetting that girl, Spider-Man's best friend. What was her name again?
Nico Minoru.
Yeah, Nico. Like seeing her like do what is it, the spells, like I'm more interested about that part because I feel like there may be like what is it, connection to Agatha.
Oh yeah, definitely. There must be something. But this actually it doesn't really connect. But the same character is in another show called Runaways. I don't know if you've heard of it, and has the exact same character. She has magic as well, and she has a different storyline there. But the magic part is basically the same thing. She was granted powers from somewhere, and that's all we know in the Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man show. But yeah, there's a lot to her character that we have no idea. But yeah,
Hmm,
she's known for using magic and everything, so
I
that's gonna be
see.
interesting. And I think there were a few times where she did use her necklace thing and that kind of reverse time or something. I don't know if you noticed that.
Um, Wait, I didn't know it. To be fair, I don't think I noticed that at all. No.
But yeah, continuing on the rest of the episode, the suit were really good, bro. Like the different choices in the funny suits from the beginning. He had he tried out the Ant-Man version of a Spider-Man costume, a Thor version, a Black Panther costume. It was just funny to see the different variants of Spider-Man suits that they were trying out, and then eventually, obviously, the OG Spider-Man suit just comes to be, and that's like the best version because the red and blue pops out, and it's a lot more positive, and it shows hope. Just like with Superman, red and blue, same thing here, red and blue, it represents hope. So that's why that was the final decision that that's the perfect suit
Yeah.
and that's
When
what
you
they
had like
kept doing.
When you had Harry just like bring out that suit, I knew that he was a real one for that.
Oh yeah, definitely. I don't know if you remember watching the 2018 Spider-Man series. Have you watched that?
No. Are you talking
Bas
about Spectacular Spider-Man?
no, no, no. There's another Disney Spider-Man show, and the worldwide engineering brigade that they introduced in this one, they also introduced in that series as well. So I kind of understood how they were going with this, how they're gathering all of the scientists that they worked with, and Harry creates his own kind of group rather than joining Oscorp.
Hmm. Okay. You know something I was really interested though. Have you ever seen like the comics for like the Amazing Spider-Man, like back in a while
Oh yeah,
back?
the Steve Ditko style animation was present, and people might say
Yeah.
that it's not exactly the same thing, but it is like almost the same style. It is very similar. It is referencing the colors and the patterns. It is very similar. So
I do like that a lot more compared to like what is it? You know Ultimate Spider-Man?
yeah,
I
Ultimate
preferred
Spider-Man. I don't know. It was a bit too jokey and breaking the fourth wall. I don't know.
it had
It
like
wasn't as
more of
serious.
a it had more of a like blocky animation compared to this. Like I was really glad with how they did the animation in this one because it's a lot more fluid. There was a lot more what is it? Like picturesque compared to like a lot of the animation that was put out. It captured almost the same style as like the What If series, except with like more of a 2D feel, like with the comic kind of style.
Yeah, exactly. Anyways,
True.
continuing on, moving on to Cobra Kai, bro.
Bro.
That was
Dude,
just
Cobra
a
Kai
perfect, beautiful ending, bro.
is, dude, the closure from the final parts of like episode six, sorry, season six,
Yeah,
was amazing.
because this series closed almost every single character, even the villains, even the side characters as well, right? Like, let's start with how they closed off, you know, yeah, Johnny, right? So from the beginning, he was just like some guy that doesn't want to do
He was just
karate
he
anymore.
was
He's
just he was just a
lost.
bomb like at the
Yeah,
beginning.
yeah, honestly, like he had no idea what he was getting himself into. He didn't really know the true meaning of karate. And he just wanted to help Miguel fight back his bullies, right? And he wasn't even in the right state of mind. He was drinking, and he was in this like deep hole. So making him doing karate and teaching Miguel the different things about karate, that was kind of the wrong perception of karate. Now he kind of realizes that Daniel's way is right, his way is right, but there's also a bad way of using karate. If you use
Yeah.
karate to attack and it corrupts you, you can use it to go too far where someone gets killed. Like I mean, it's crazy how it's a kids' karate tournament, and certain people are getting killed over this. And
Bro, they exploded a whole yacht just for like a kids karate tournament.
yeah, bro, no mercy. That was so cold, bro. Like, yeah, it felt so sudden and cliche that it would happen, but the way they ended that with no mercy, were like literally split where Terry Silver was like no, and then Chris saying
Dude,
mercy. It just,
Chris
yeah,
Chris came into the saga as a villain and went out like a hero.
yeah, bro. He's a legend. He won't be forgotten, and it's just sad that Johnny won't be able to know that, and I don't think anyone will know because no, it hasn't been mentioned. But
There was
yeah,
no witnesses because I think about it. Silver's dead. The guy that was hired by Silver's dead. Everyone else on the yacht was dead. Kreese is dead. So the only person that would truly know about it is Sensei Wolf. But do you really think he's gonna like tell Johnny being like, oh yeah, by the way, Kreese is dead, Silver's dead, this is all dead. I'm only saying this. I don't care that you defeated me at that tournament. I'm definitely
yeah,
not
exactly.
butthurt by that or whatsoever.
Because at this point, all of the villains are defeated enemies, so I think they just wanted to close off all of the characters and focus on, the main characters of the franchise and off there in a beautiful way. And yeah, man, even the end of the tournament, it was just so emotional. It's all you, Lawrence. Like, oh man, Jenna saying that was just so wholesome and emotional. And then the best part, like the turning point that made this part three and the whole season, even the ending of the season, perfect. It's just when Daniel says, "You know what? Cobra Kai never dies," right? And that was just that moment where there was not going to be any conflict between Johnny and Daniel because both of them realized they have to stick together. They have to realize our differences, even if Cobra Kai is wrong, even if Miyagi-Do is wrong. Both of them have to just find a way to understand and accept it, and that's what happened in the end.
Dude, the ending speech by like Daniel LaRusso, like I was not expecting him to come out. I thought he was just gonna
Literally,
say
bro.
like, "You gotta fight him with the Miyagi-Do way." I dead ass thought he was gonna say that. And then like he pulls up
Exactly,
with
bro.
this Cobra Kai speech, and I'm like, "Yo, Daniel's
He
gonna
knows
enjoy
what he
that."
was doing. That's how he's gonna be a good character now because everyone's like, "Oh, why is he talking about Miyagi-Do all the time? Mr. Miyagi all the time, right?" But this time he understood that Cobra Kai is also a means of good. You have to attack certain people if they are going to attack you full force, right? You can't just be a weak little pussy. You have to go and fight back and make sure you stand your ground and don't hide and cower, right? That's how Johnny was feeling like he had to cower. But with Cobra Kai, it's about, standing your ground, no mercy, hit hard, strike first, like just go, do it, don't hold back. And that's what that motivation he needs to, defeat Sensei Boo. And it worked in the end.
I was actually really happy when like what is it like both well, like both like Hawk and what is it Hawk and
Dimitri,
Dimitri are going to
oh,
counteract together.
bro, that was such a good plot twist, bro. Like, it's like, I mean, yeah, obviously it's cliche that everyone's gonna make up and look aside their differences and be together. But it
Yeah, but like
just
this was
because the
definitely
ending of
different
a
from what I was
saga,
expecting.
exactly like
I
the
was just expecting like they were gonna make the differences and then they go their separate ways and then like they visit each
yeah,
other once or twice. Like
yeah,
like yeah, Dimitri goes to MIT, like Eli goes to Caltech, and they just like they hang out once or twice a while.
yeah, because this is an ending of a whole saga, so it just feels, even it might sound cliche, it's just perfect to end it off like in a beautiful, happy ending where the actors can show their emotion because they're also this is also going to be the last season they're ever going to be together. So it kind of shows that you can feel the emotion.
Hmm. Yeah, honestly, I'm actually kind of curious. Apparently, there's talks of like a Cobra Kai spin-off happening.
Oh yeah, bro. But they have to. They have to because even after the Karate Kid Legends movie, there has to be some way to continue it, right? Like if Cobra Kai was a continuation of the Karate Kid films, there's got to be something coming after the Karate Kid Legends film, definitely. So can't wait for that. Can't wait for that. Oh yeah, don't forget how Robbie and Troy they had contracts given to them, and they have proper professional jobs now, and they're going to be all rich. Like just seeing them so happy, how they were so depressed and very conflicted throughout the entire series, and seeing them in a better place, it just warms your heart. I mean, they were these two. They were like the most aggressive, and they didn't want to hold back, and they didn't want to listen to anyone, and they were just in a dark hole. But
Yeah.
now they realize how much karate has given to them, and yeah, seeing them in a better place is so much nicer. Yeah, and the baby as well, how he has now a proper family.
Dude, it's so like you know what it is. I was really happy for Miguel. Like, what is it? Miguel and Sam are still talking and just like
Oh yeah,
making sure.
that's what I wanted to talk about. Yeah,
Yeah, like
how
Sam going to Okinawa, isn't it?
that was actually like I towards that moment you could feel that Miguel was coming, but before then I was like, nah, Miguel's not coming. Like he's not in this scene, so you wouldn't think he's coming. But then towards when she's leaving, you could feel that he's coming, and then oh my god, he's actually going. Like that's just a reasonable, decision to make. Like anyone would do it, and it just makes sense. So to end it off there, it's just perfect. You know how they're gonna be together and they're happy with each other, and their relationship is gonna grow as well. So you know that it's gonna end off on a good note. And then the ending moment, how Daniel was gonna try to catch the fly as a reference to Mr. Miyagi in the Karate Kid films, and then how Johnny just squashes the fly. That was just so funny. Like it's good how they showed respect to that moment, but at the same time, it's just funny how they kind of didn't make it cliche, and you know
I think it was good. They just add like Johnny's comedic twist because I like the way that like Johnny's just like straightforward, but Danny's like sentimental.
Yeah, exactly. It's just been so wholesome throughout this whole part three, you know.
Part two had a lot of wholesome parts in it because I feel like what is it like part two? That's when they finally like rekindle
Yeah,
like and kindle back like some friendships and relationships because it's like you kind of look at it like part two is where like everyone starts to get back together and just like become more of a group, especially with
yeah,
the like
definitely.
in what episode eight? I think episode eight, I believe, because it was like what is it like? No, wait, no, because episode eight was what is it when they bring Kenny back, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
Because
episode
it's
8 when the training and then Kenny comes. Yeah.
yeah.
I was a bit bummed that they didn't include one of the OG characters in season 1. You know, do you remember Aisha? She wasn't in there, so I don't know. It would be nice to see her in the crowd somewhere just cheering on Miguel. But I guess maybe she turned the
Aisha.
role down or something.
Oh wait, it was the one with the glasses, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I was like surprised she didn't cut. I think like what was it? She got cut off after like season two.
Oh, yeah. That's probably why it would be so weird just to have a character just suddenly appear for no reason. Yeah,
And like what is it? I think it might have been like a falling out of the cast or like the directors or something. Let me check it out actually.
yeah. Go on.
Anyway, you were saying about like season six.
Yeah, that it's just a perfect send off, how all of the characters are together, they're working together, they're happy. Like it's not too complicated as season 2 was, where there was so many things happening, so many different relationships, so many issues they all had to figure out together. They had to get their shit right. But it's easy in the third part they kind of move from that and focus on the main characters coming together full force, where they don't give a shit about the other team and they're going to put all their effort into winning. They don't care. They don't care what they say. They don't care if they're going to lose or not. They're just going to still push forward. That's what I felt with this part kind of had a unique difference to the second one, you know.
Yeah. Oh, okay. No, I found out what it was. According to IMBD, unfortunately, she was let go because the writers couldn't find a place for her character in the script. However, I think she was like, what is it? She did come back in season four.
Uh-huh.
Um, but she also got mentioned a few times in season six, but like
Yeah,
Sam and
she did get mentioned, but she wasn't actually there. Yeah.
yeah, I was looking, but apparently, like, what is it? It was just like she might be coming back in the spin-off because apparently she was accepted into the University of California, Santa Cruz.
Ah, I see. But at least they mentioned her. That's the least they did. So, you know that she's still part of the Cobra Kai universe, you know.
So at least, like, what is it? She's still like around somewhere.
Yeah, because she was in most of season 1 and season 2, you know. But yeah,
Just,
anyways, shall we wrap it up here?
I think
Yeah.
we could wrap it up. Yeah.
Yeah, let's
Got
just end
check.
it here. So, what do you guys think of what we've talked about? Don't forget to put your thoughts in the comments below. And yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
See you guys in a bit, guys.